Hello you guys and welcome to my channel. I'm so excited to have you here. So welcome to number 100, the 100th video for MLM horror stories. Just wild to see that we're at 100. I probably never assumed that we would ever get there or that there would ever be just like 100 videos dedicated to this topic. So let's just get right into it. If you have an MLM horror story that you would like me to read in a future video, I will leave down below how to send it to me. There's an email that you can actually send it to and then I will read it. There are also some emails that kind of got lost within the past year as I moved the way that I actually receive the MLM horror stories emails. So I'm kind of like finding those as weeks go and going back and reading them. So if you hear your story and you sent it to me like months ago or a year ago, that's probably why, because it got lost in the other email that I no longer look at. And then I had to like transfer them all over. And sometimes I don't have enough time to go through every single email I've ever received and transfer them all over. But I did spend like an hour the other day going through my other email and transferring over MLM horror story emails that I never got to read. So with that being said, let's get into the first MLM horror story. So the first one is going to be about Primerica. So the story starts, and let me get comfortable actually. I always am comfortable with my leg up. I don't know why. That's like a habit I have. But okay, it starts with, I recently took over my elderly mother's finances. I am a certified financial planner, but I don't advise family members unless they ask, and I never take them as clients. So I had never seen into my mother's financial situation until now. I found out all of my mother's investments were with a company called Primerica. I had heard of that company, but always thought of it as a pyramid scheme, but didn't realize it could be such a problem. I asked her Primerica rep to show me all of her numbers dating back to the beginning so I could analyze them. I was concerned when they did not speak the financial language and passed me off to different people. One was a VP and then a VP of corporate. Dang, how many VPs can a company have? I compared the knowledge of the people in the office who are handling a substantial amount of her money to a group of really smart, really motivated 10-year-olds. A big problem with MLMs is how they can convince barely trained people they are now incredible at improving other people's finances, hair, skin, health, etc. I had a lot of trouble figuring out what was going on with this company. I found your videos and began to understand their business and mindset. I finally got all of her records and analyzed them. They costed her thousands, tens of thousands of dollars. Let's be specific here, tens of thousands of dollars by having her overinsured with investments in poor funds with many fees. I don't want to bore you with the financial jargon, but she basically bought the $50 of MLM shampoo for 20 years when a $10 bottle was just as good. I went in and sat down with her rep and pulled all of her money out and canceled all of her life insurance policies. The conversation itself was a horror story, but the pinnacle was when the agent said I was ruining his life. Incredibly unprofessional. Although mom wasn't actually in the company, the overpriced financial products they sold her ended up lining the MLM's pockets. This is a good reason not to support friends who sell shakes and leggings just to support them. There is a dark side to all MLM. So I will say that especially when it comes to financial stuff, we do see people who are older really get taken advantage of by this. I know even like my grandparents have dealt with that because my grandmother doesn't even know how to use a cell phone. She refuses to ever learn how to use them. So when she gets calls, collect calls, she ends up signing up for things that she doesn't like understand. And that would happen a lot when I was a kid. And I feel like it can happen a lot to people who are a bit older. So it is pretty crappy that that happened, but it is extremely unprofessional that the MLM rep was saying that you ruined his life. When at the end of the day, it's your mother's income and your mother's investments and things like that that actually matter. And it just goes to show how much MLM reps depend on other people spending their hard-earned money so they can make any sort of money. So your mother was probably somebody that was making this individual a lot of money, and he knows that by losing your mom and her spending tens of thousands of dollars, he's going to be losing out on a lot. So the next MLM horror story is about Beachbody, and it says Beachbody sucks at life. Okay. This says, hi Deanna, I've been watching your YouTube for a while, chatted with you in IG. Anyways, I am a former Beachbody coach and I just found this old message thread with my grandma coach. By the way, if you don't know what that means, when someone says they're like their grandma upline, that means it's essentially just like your grandma. So instead of your upline, it's your upline to upline. So a lot of the times we'll be like, oh yeah, my, mother coach would be the person who recruited you, and then the person who recruited them is like the grandma coach. So that's what Beachbody reps say a lot. So she said she found a lot of old message threads with her grandma coach. She said, I didn't blur the upline out. Feel free to blur if you use, and I definitely will be blurring them since they are personal messages. I can't believe how brainwashed I was. I was so determined to make coaching work that I was working while I was at Disney World. So wrong. I am somewhat happy that my upline did tell me to enjoy my vacation. At the same time, she did not do anything to help and told me to just be okay with the situation. This was one of many eye-opening situations in 2018, which made me start to question the business as a whole. It also highlights how horrible Beachbody customer service can be. I'm so glad I finally got out. Thank you for all you do. So the person who sent us the email, we're gonna call them Amanda. And her upline, we're just gonna call Grandma Coach. So as I'm reading these messages, that's how I'm gonna call them. So Amanda messaged her upline coach and said, I have to message you. I have a customer who has been so excited to do 80-day obsession with me. She signed up the week before we started for her challenge pack. She even paid for expedited shipping, and she received an email that her order was delayed because of the volume of orders. I've been cheering her on, telling her to start with a little obsessed. I even made her a free pack with 5 days of Shakeology, bands, Fixate cookbooks, containers, and samples of the performance line. She still doesn't have her challenge pack and messaged me today that she will no longer be doing 80-day obsession. I'm heartbroken. I am a good coach, but I can't coach out of these delays. Is there anything you can do? She is very unhappy with Beachbody as a company, but likes me as a coach. So now I have to coach for free. I'm very disappointed. What do I do? And then Amanda sent all of the order information, like the person's name, their email, their customer order number, and a screenshot from the individual. So the person that she recruited that her package was delayed messaged her and said, I'm so pissed and I'm not ordering anything from them again. So not cool. Ugh, it won't stop me, but I'm canceling my monthly order. I have no trust in them. So a while back, this was actually happening with Beachbody where they were having issues with their shipping. And this was before COVID, so it wasn't like the COVID delays that were happening. But there was a time where Beachbody was having a lot of issues with shipping. And it just goes back to the fact that it's not your own business. And at the end of the day, you have no control over anything. So if packages get messed up or Beachbody accidentally charges a customer for something and then they come to you angry about it because you're their coach and they think that you have control over it, at the end of the day, you don't have control over what products come out. You don't have control over seeing what's going on with shipping or anything like that, because at the end of the day, if you did own your own business, you could try and figure something out. So say packages got delayed, you could ship out another one. Maybe you could comp the person. Maybe you could give them some sort of refund for, the issues with shipping, or say you couldn't ship out soon enough. You can figure out what you could do to kind of make it better or make the customer happy if you wanted that customer to continue with you. So I feel like that goes back to the fact that MLMs are not your own business, and this will happen, and there will be issues with products and shipping, and you can't really tell anyone anything. The person that you've recruited or that you have as a customer, you can't say anything to them. It's like, oh, well, here's a link. You can try and reach out to them. At the end of the day, you have no control over anything that happens within the MLM or that happens to your customers because of the MLM. So I feel like this is another reason why MLMs are not your own business. And if you did have your own business, you would have a sense of control over that, and you would be able to figure something out with the customer and not have this issue of trying for days to go back and forth with Beachbody and your customer. So the grandma coach responded and she said, ugh, it's such a bummer because she's missing out. The orders for this have been huge. It is annoying, but she's making it worse. I did just post in the VIP page hoping Beachbody will reach out to her. Don't let it bring you down. You honestly want to work with people who aren't so quick to flip the switch like this. Amanda said, thank you. I know. I was just really excited for her, and I hate disappointing people. I am representing Beachbody, and I feel like they let us both down. I don't have many clients right now, and I'm trying to make a comeback. Thanks. Anything you can do is appreciated. The grandma coach said, oh, I know. I've been there. You can just apologize, validate, and say, sometimes there are obstacles to get us where we want to go, but it's still worth going. Hopefully, VIP can at least calm her down. Maybe reach out to her and tell her you escalated it for her on her behalf. staff. And then the grandma coach responded quickly after that and said, Beachbody just responded and they said, "Hi, grandma coach. We apologize for the inconvenience this has caused. All orders placed through Sunday, January 21st are expected to ship out by today. Delivery has been upgraded and depending on the address is expected within 2 to 4 business days. We'll review the status of this order and message you privately with an update." Amanda said, "Thank you. The sad thing is she was so motivated and even had some friends that were interested in talking to me about joining. I don't know if that will still happen at this point. Anyways, I told her I'd do all I could to get it shipped out today." And then a couple days later, she messaged her upline again and she said, "Hi, blank, just checked again. Her order still has not shipped. I'm getting a bit frustrated." The grandma coach responded and said, "Business doesn't always go smooth. Deep breath. If you give up, then no one will join you for sure. But they will if you stick through. Did anyone call her?" Amanda said, "I don't think so. My team is being awesome and helping me cheer her on." The grandma coach said, "Awesome. I'm really glad to hear that." Then another day passes and Amanda says, "It still hasn't shipped yet. I'm at Disney World and don't know what to do." And then there's a screenshot of the order and the fact that it still has not shipped yet. She said, "I have had no resolve. Her order still has not shipped. I feel like if this is not resolved in 24 hours, I will have to cancel my coach account. I am on vacation and I have no more resources. I can't represent a company that does this or not, but I'll only use it for the discount and I will never sell another challenge pack. I've never felt so hopeless in a situation. Is there anything that you can do?" The grandma upline said, "Amanda, don't worry about this on vacation. You've had a great history with Beachbody and love it. I agree this is frustrating, but it's not the norm. I've had issues here and there too. It's business. I could never imagine people quitting over it. Thousands of people are healthier because of Beachbody." Amanda says, "Yes, but I can't sell something and represent something that I can't trust will be delivered the way I am selling it to people. Do you know what I mean? If I tell people they can join me on a journey and join my group, how am I supposed to be okay because now I've essentially lied because she didn't get her pack? I need to sleep on this. I'm on vacay and I just feel terrible about it." The grandma upline didn't respond, and so Amanda wrote her again and said, "I just need to vent. This was going to be my comeback to coaching. I've been talking to her for 2 years." And then she sent a screenshot from the person, like the customer, and the customer had stated, "Okay, I already canceled it. Nobody called. I'm going to do Weight Watchers. It's not even shipped yet. I just want my money back." Yikes. Okay, then the upline responded and said, "Sometimes the universe tests us. This can still be your comeback. It's one order that got messed up. And from what I can tell, the woman is extra dramatic. If someone were to order again, this isn't going to happen." Amanda said, "Okay, thanks for letting me share my frustration. Obviously, I don't say how frustrated I am in the challenge group or on my public pages. I'm just going to figure it out. Unfortunately, she still wants me to coach her for free. Now that she is doing Weight Watchers, I'll have to talk to her about that." And the upline says, "I get it. Super annoying for the standard you want to set, but try to keep it in perspective and try to remember all the good. With coaching her, maybe just send her a text each Friday to check in. Keep it minimal. I think once she calms down, she'll give Beachbody a try again. Think positive. Now, go enjoy Disney." So again, like I said, this all goes back to the fact that it's not your own business. You can't control everything. And at the end of the day, you can't depend also. I feel like that's the big thing is you can't depend on these MLMs to do anything for you. You can't depend on their customer service to work properly or packages to get sent out or packages not to get lost or products to come out properly because you're not the one doing anything about it. If you did own your own fitness company, then you would be in the labs. You would know what product's going out. You would know the ingredients of it. You would literally be there every step of the way. But that's not the case when you join an MLM. So at the end of the day, that's pretty much what happened here is there was weeks that went by where this person wasn't getting their order and they decided to quit and the MLM rep felt really defeated about it. And then clearly the upline was just saying like, "Hey, just be positive," which clearly is what's going to happen. That's what you're taught to do. Like you're taught, hey, no matter what happened, you need to push forward. If someone says no, it's okay, you need to go recruit 10 more people. So I feel like that's like the mentality that happens in MLMs. You can't like sit there and dwell and be like, you know, I'm a bit sad today that this happened, and you can't express that to anyone, but you kind of have to like fake it. And you kind of have to train your brain that you can't get frustrated about things, which is just not how us humans work. There are things in life that we're going to get frustrated, sad by, mad at, angry, and we should be able to go through those feelings. But in MLMs, you're really going to be taught that You just have to be positive, and it's a lot of toxic positivity. So if you do not know what toxic positivity means, it means the pressure to only display positive emotion, suppressing any negative emotion, feelings, reactions, or experiences. It invalidates human experience and can lead to trauma, isolation, and unhealthy coping mechanisms. And then examples of toxic positivity is like, oh, everything happens for a reason, or don't worry, it'll all work out, just stress less, or kind of what happened in this situation where it's like positive thoughts only. Sometimes it's like humans, we kind of deserve to go through whatever we're feeling at the moment, and that's not going to happen in MLM. So I feel like those are like the two big learning lessons in this is it's not your own business. You don't control anything. And then a lot of toxic positivity where this person can't even she can't sit and go through those motions. She kind of has to put those to the back burner and just continue on because it's not good to show when you're not happy and positive, even though no human is happy every moment of their life. It's just not reality. Okay, the next story is very long. So it says German MLM horror story, scammy job interviews, and I almost got sucked in. So it says, hi Deanna, I'm German and English is only my second language, so apologies if some sentences sound off. I recently stumbled across anti-MLM YouTube and can't stop binging your content. While watching more and more in your videos, I've realized I almost became part of a German MLM 2 years ago. I don't know if this is a story that interests you because you normally cover American MLMs, but I wanted to share my story with you anyways. It might be a long one. I was 19, fresh into college, and was looking for a part-time job. I was really shy and socially anxious, and therefore didn't want to work as a cashier or waitress. 2 years later, and I've been working part-time as a cashier for a year now without any problem. I found a job ad for my financial consultant company, which seemed pretty legit. I only had to send them my resume and fill out a little quiz where you could decide if you wanted to apply to work in customer care, sales, or in the back office. Back office sounded pretty perfect to me because it meant not too much contact with customers, and I'm really good with computers. I applied and shortly after got an invite for a job interview. I got there and it was pretty small, but still a legit seeming office. Someone sat me down with a glass of water and a little quiz and form to fill out. In the entry hall, there was also a display with times and names on it, presumably other job interview appointments, which was definitely a red flag because it was such a small office. And according to the job ad, they were looking for 3 different people for 3 different jobs, right? But I just thought they were doing all the job interviews in one day and didn't think much of it. The form I had to fill out was basic stuff like what I imagined to earn there and self-assessment and things like teamwork or friendliness. When I got to the guy who interviewed me, he was going through the form quickly and then started to tell me all about the company and what they did. He didn't ask me any questions, and I was so nervous to just be sitting in my first real job interview and was just happy that he did all of the talking. Looking at the form, he was surprised that I put an amount per hour instead of a monthly pay or similar because I just expected to have a normal part-time job with minimum wage. He explained that I could work as much or as little as I wanted in the company and could work from home but also could come into the office. There normally will be a table free for anyone who wants to come in. Sketchy much? I still didn't realize though. He also asked me if I was okay with calling people and meeting up with them and putting their info into a computer system. I was confused because I was applying to be in the back office, but here he was explaining that it would be more of a mix between the 3 choices I had when applying. I wanted to overcome my shyness, etc. anyways, and was desperate for money, so I said that I would be okay with that. I got invited back to a second interview, which again wasn't really an interview, but him showing me their flyer/brochure and how he would show and explain it to customers, and wanted me to prepare for the next interview. I did learn it by heart and got back for my next interview, which was with a different guy, and he showed and explained the brochure to me again, and he was surprised when I was able to correct him on some of the information because I had already learned it. So now I got another date for when I had to come back, and this time I was the one showing the brochure, trying to look informed and like someone you would want to hire. I did pretty good even though I was really nervous. It was the 4th time I was in the office, and according to the display in the entry hall, there was still job interviews being held. But just by the way, the company seemed very legit other than that. It was a nice website, it's on the stock market, and it is in the 14 European countries. Oh, and the name of the company is OVB Holding if you want to look it up. Also, I didn't know what an MLM was back then and just Googled to make sure it actually is one. There is so much hidden info about this company I didn't see when I applied because you really have to dig deep. So there I was, finished with my mini presentation, and they gave me a notebook in which the first page was to write down your goals. You were supposed to take 10 minutes every day to write down your goals, what you're thankful for, and all this better yourself stuff, which seemed to be everywhere in the company. The main guy with whom I had my first 2 interviews with had a big Wolf of Wall Street art piece in his office. Back then, I found it really cool. Now it just makes me realize what kind of person he is or aspires to be. I also was supposed to write down here it is. I was also supposed to write down 100 names of people I knew, maybe back from school, friends, etc., whom I wanted to show the opportunity to better their finances and to advise with their insurance. That was what made me realize how sketchy they were. All this time, I thought they would give me the customers who I would have to call. But nope, I don't even know that many people. I started to write down a few names because I was really uncomfortable and told them I didn't know their phone numbers by heart. They let me go and told me to finish the list until the next time I was supposed to come there. I also realized that they were only commission based. I'd only get money if I would be able to make someone change their insurance. I decided to not come back, but forgot to cancel the next interview. So they called me wondering where I was, and I told them I wasn't coming. I know that was really unprofessional of me, and I was really embarrassed I didn't cancel the meeting, but now I think after all the time they robbed me, I don't feel sorry anymore that I was a no-show. So I agree with her. The fact that this MLM company had 5 interviews, like that was supposed to be her 5th interview. Why does it take that many interviews to get someone into a multi-level marketing company? Because I feel like each interview wasn't even like an actual interview, like having her write down 100 people's names, having her learn a brochure was like her training period. Because, you know, when you go into an MLM, you have like a training period. You normally go through, like for an MLM, you would go through videos and stuff that maybe your upline has for you to teach you everything. So I feel like all of those interviews did rob her of a lot of time, because at the end of the day, it's like you got ready, you drove there, you were there for how many hours learning brochures and stuff like that, and then your drive home, that's like a whole day dedicated to that MLM company. So I do agree that they definitely did rob you of your time. She continued to say, from what I know, most of them actually don't scam their customers and have decently good offers, but you can only earn money by commission or by recruiting people below you. The guy I had my first interview with probably doesn't do any work besides signing people up below him. He actually makes quite decent money, but I don't know if others can say the same. They must really be pressured to perform by their upline, and since everyone works independently, the company can't really make sure that customers are well taken care of. I'm so glad I picked up the sketchy vibes and went with my intuition after they took several hours out of my life that I never got back. At least it was an experience and a way to make me feel less nervous for the next job interviews to come. Yeah, I agree. They definitely 1000% robbed you of your time. Okay, so the next story says, "Hi Deanna, I'm sending this again as I don't think that you saw it." I don't think I've ever read this one. It's not on like the list of ones that I've read, so I'm going to read it today. Firstly, I just wanted to say thank you so much for your anti-MLM videos. Not only are they really entertaining, I really wish your videos were around back in 2016 when I was sucked into an MLM. I'll try to keep this story as short as possible. I haven't been brave enough to share my story on my channel. In fact, I haven't really shared it with anyone, but I think my story might help someone out there. I don't mind if you mention my name or not. Back in 2016, I was so unhappy in my job. I was working at a makeup counter. I dreaded going in every day, working extremely long hours, targets, public holidays, Christmas, etc. And I guess you could say I was desperate for a way out. I'm a makeup artist, but makeup counters are all about sales, unfortunately. YouTube passion and escape, and all I've ever wanted was to go full time. I was really struggling with my YouTube channel. After 6 years on YouTube, I really wasn't growing. I got a Facebook DM from a girl who said I can work as a brand ambassador for a skincare company, and she made a full-time income. It was like fate. She offered to call me and we instantly hit it off, talking for hours on the phone. Being a trained beautician as well, working with skincare really excited me, as I love facials and skincare consultations were my jam, and already had connected with salons and had an online audience. I later found out they preyed on quote influencers unquote. I was told with my following, I'd be able to make a serious income plus be a beautician. I could work closely with salons, getting a lot of commissions from them stocking the product. The company is called NuSkin, and I never really hear about them on anti-MLM channels. I genuinely love the products, I won't lie. They really sucked me in with all the skincare science. You might have heard of the Galvanic and Lumi. I don't think I've heard of that. And of course, all the exciting business trips abroad that I paid for. My upline was really positive and inspiring and was literally quitting her full-time job that year and moving to Spain to live on the beach. She was literally living my dream. I did have a gut feeling that something wasn't right about the business model, but they always found a way to brainwash me with articles from Forbes and skincare awards and also three-way calls from millionaires in my upline. So I put it down to fear in the end, that I thought I was just holding myself back. I spent thousands on products because I needed all the expensive skincare devices to approach salons and demo them. Long story short, I fell into the rabbit hole. Went on every business trip, spending money I didn't even have because I was told if I didn't go, I looked like a bad leader or like I wasn't serious about the business, which I was because I was eager to get out of my job. I worked 24/7 doing Facebook Live skincare parties, messaged 50 people a day, rang salons, and called in. Looking back, I was desperate because I was, quote, unhappy. I lost followers, I was blocked every day, and even lost friends. I still look back and cringe. I just can't believe I fell for it and I carried on the way I did. I feel sick thinking about it. My viewers trusted me and I feel like I've ruined that relationship. I made a small bit of money, but every month I probably invested more in the products trying to hit my target and selling off the products at wholesale cost just to hit target so I'd get paid out. With NuSkin, if you didn't hit your group monthly target, you didn't get paid for your whole downline. Recruitment left a bad taste in my mouth and I always felt so wrong, but I was so brainwashed. I thought this is just business. I need to feel uncomfortable to be successful, but it was literally my gut telling me to get out. In the end, I literally had a panic attack and a breakdown at one of the business events when my upline tried to force me to recruit the waitress in the bar in front of the team. Ugh. I just burst into tears. I couldn't handle the pressure. I had also recruited a close friend who actually reached out to me and she was doing amazing with sales. She was a natural, but when I got my first 4-figure wage and promotion, I felt nothing but guilt. I didn't deserve this. She did. I got sucked in with the products and lifestyles, but I knew then that this is literally not who I am. My gut was right all along. Success shouldn't feel wrong. YouTube was always my passion, which I had practically quit, and I didn't like the person I was becoming. I told my upline, who had now become a good friend and had opened up to a lot, that I was stepping back, and she turned on me. She told me I wasted 2 years of her life, and no wonder I was bullied. Okay, that's going way too far. And no wonder I was bullied in school as I was a terrible person and I'll never be successful at anything. I quit that day. That's going too far. That's so wrong. It's like a distant memory now, but they took advantage of me in so many ways. I was young and naive, and the worst part is she knew I was unhappy and literally brainwashed me, using it to their advantage, even telling me that influencers were dying out and network marketing was going to take over. They still say that. So yeah, that's my story. Sorry it's so long. I just wanted to give you the full picture. I'm sure so many people in similar situations will get sucked in. Influencers are an easy target, so please keep doing these videos. I wish I had someone like you to guide me back then and save me all the pain and embarrassment. Still to this day, I feel like I ruined my reputation and I'm constantly working on gaining back my viewers' trust. I have so many disturbing stories I could tell you, like people buying accounts and downlines, but I think this is long enough. Anyways, thanks for all you do, and sorry this is so long. That's such a hard story to me to hear just because of the fact of like what the person said after she left. But yeah, I could definitely see content creators being a group of people that could be recruited, especially small creators. Like small creators, maybe they're learning about brand deals and stuff like that. So when they are approached by a company saying like, hey, this is pretty much like working with a brand, they may be really excited. Like, oh my gosh, this is the first or second or third company that reached out to me. I tried the products because she said she liked the products. So maybe you try the product products, you like them, and then you join. So I feel like, yeah, a lot of smaller creators could definitely be roped up into this and then get so roped up into the MLM that they try and recruit and sell products to their followers. So yeah, I definitely feel like content creators can definitely be a group of people to be recruited into MLMs. I feel like even big content creators, like large creators that have 100, 200, 300,000 followers, those creators can also be roped in because they are going to be sold the fact that they already have an audience. And by having that audience, if they just sell this product, they can make big bucks with it. And that does happen. Like if you are a very large creator and you join an MLM and your audience isn't very familiar with MLMs, or maybe you're just a lifestyle creator or something, or maybe you just sell makeup like this person and you decide to join a makeup company, you will probably make a lot of money instantly because you're going to have such a large group of people to buy the product or recruit. So I definitely think that influencers or content creators can definitely be a type of demographic to be roped up into MLMs for sure. So with all of that being said, thank you guys so much for watching number 100. MLM Horror Stories number 100. If you made it this far, leave a comment down below that says hashtag 100. Hashtag 100. I would like to see those. And that's how I know you watched this whole entire video. So no emojis this time. I know in some of my videos I have you guys comment emojis. So no emojis, just hashtag 100. Don't forget to leave a like and a comment. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in the next video. And he decided to start over. Sit and go through those motions. I was what the fuck was I gonna say? So there I was. Finished with my mini. I was confused because I'm twisting my words today. Like every day. I feel like that's every day of my life.